Namaste, how are you doing? I hope you are doing good. My name is Saurabh, and in today's episode, I will talk about the third T20 between Pakistan and England. Pakistan finally won the third T20 against England, and this was surprisingly their first win on the tour. The series statistics will show that Pakistan lost the Test series and just managed to draw the T20 series. But life and game is far away from statistics because statistics never give the complete picture. Pakistan could have easily won the first test against England if they had not panicked. If you lose after scoring more than 290 and having the opposition at 117 for 5 with no genuine batsman to come, it shows very poorly on the captain, the team, and also the coaching staff. Even in the first T20, the batting was good, but they did not have a very good power hitter could take them through. Let me talk a little bit about the first T20. Fakhar Zaman and Babar Azam played well, but Babar Azam is a very classical batsman, and you need a classical batsman who can steady the ship. But on flat wickets, this becomes a problem. Fakhar Zaman has been out of form for a long time, and I do not know why he is still in the team. He scored 30-34 in the first T20, but he also took time. So if you have both openers taking time in the first 6 overs, that is not exactly a good sign in the team. Other batsmen did not perform as well as they would have liked, like Shoaib Malik. I believe time is enough. Shoaib Malik should take retirement. He will surely get county opportunities and he should not be in the Pakistani national team. He may still have the potential, but with Pakistan having a lot of young talent, I believe he should make way instead of being asked to. Mohammad Hafiz played fantastically in both the first T20 and even in the third T20. I'm very happy with what he has done, but unfortunately, it is a similar thing which we have been seeing from Mohammad Hafiz. From 2003, since he made his debut, till today, he plays 2-3 matches fantastically well, and after that, it is a period of low scores. He has God's gift of timing, but unfortunately, he does not have God's gift of placement. So, fantastically timed shots you will find landing straight in the lap of the fielders. The most recent example being his shot to Hardik Pandya in the World Cup match against India. He flicked it. It was absolutely a carbon copy of the way Mohammad Yusuf got out against Javagal Srinath in the 2003 World Cup. Very good timers, but Hafiz consistency is an issue. I think even at his age, he still has a lot of potential, and if he wants, Pakistan can go on with him. And I still fail to understand why after being cleared, he is not being allowed to bowl by the management. This is one of my personal complaints. Now let me come to the third T20. Pakistan already had a raw talent, Haider Ali. I have seen his matches in PSL. The bat swing he has, it's beautiful. It's absolutely hockey. And it is so seamless. The way the elbow comes, it looks effortless. It's a small pickup. Some people hit sixes, you will find that it takes a lot of effort. But for Haider Ali, it looks like a walk in the park. He is perhaps the only second person or the first person, please correct me if I am wrong, Pakistani player to have scored a 50 on T20 debut. That is a big thing. Wish him all the best. He showed his potential, and it shows very poorly again on the management for keeping him on the bench and not letting him play. Babar Azam is ideally a first down player and he should not be an opener. Haider Ali, very good opener, and he is the future of Pakistan. But please don't start comparing him to other players, because for your first 5-6 matches, bowlers don't know much about you and they feed you on your strengths. Once the bowlers work him out, it will see how well he performs. I'm sure he will do well. Fakhar Zaman really needs to take rest. COVID has not had an impact on his performance. He is still getting out in the same manner. And against spinner, especially a Pakistani batsman playing so poorly, I have not seen earlier. Pakistani cricketers earlier used to massacre spinners, but now spinners seem to have some magic spell. This has happened to India also. I do not know why this has happened. Now Babar Azam. See, Babar Azam is a great cricketer, one of the fastest to runs across formats. But the thing is, he is not a person who will smash it out of the park. So he tried to do it but failed this time. Hafiz and Haider Ali's innings of 100-run partnership in 10.1 overs really changed the match. And they got a fillip also, but again in the last over there was not a single boundary scored. So power hitting is really becoming a problem for Pakistan, and I hope they have an answer to it. Shadab Khan is a very good batsman. He's turning out to be a very good batsman, and I believe he should be seen as a leg spinning all-rounder. He has shown his performances on the field in PSL as well. Now come to my main question. Why was Sarfaraz Ahmed selected? I am not from Pakistan, so I will not comment about the internal politics. But Sarfaraz Ahmed has had no business being in the team, and that showed from the way he missed a stumping. I do not understand why Rizwan was dropped. Rizwan is captaincy material, mark my words. He has a very good brain. Yes, his brain does not work during DRS, but he has a very good brain and he should be persisted with. Wahab Riaz bowled fantastic, but unfortunately same consistency issues. So he performs in 1 or 2 matches with extreme pace and dedication, and people think Wahab is now back to form, but in long term he again falters. Shaheen is a talent and Shaheen should be persistent. What a Yorker to Bairstow. I have not seen that sort of Yorker since the Mitchell Starc Yorker to Ben Stokes, and that is very rare in the game. It swung twice on the air, started from leg stump and hit off stump. Bairstow had no answer. He bowled with a lot of passion. Shaheen Afridi is really a top level stuff. Shadab Khan, ever since his illness from 2019, has still not got back his rhythm. He's slowly transforming into a batsman, but I believe bowling should not be neglected. He's a very good spinner and a very good fielder. So he and Haider Ali and Rizwan are the future of Pakistani cricket, because Pakistan is a very proud cricketing lineage. You can't let it go. And as for the coaching staff, no, I forgot Haris Rauf. See, Haris Rauf is not a good bowler. See, performances in Big Bash League for the first 4 or 5 matches are okay, but at international level, more often than not, he is being found. I believe he bowls like you would do in tape ball, sort of tennis ball bounce, but in every pitch you will not get bounce, and so you are bound to get hit. The only notable ball he had in this match was the last ball Yorker, which Tom Curran could not even hit. So kudos to him, but I believe there are better bowlers in Pakistan than Haris Rauf. Rohil Nazir is another player who needs to be looked into by Pakistan if they don't want Rizwan playing T20 cricket. I have seen his matches on YouTube and he looks a promising talent. I have not seen much of Khusdil Shah, but Misbah and team need to make some arrangements. As for coaching staff, very shameful. I will not comment. I am sure people in Pakistan are talking about it. But tainted people in coaching spots should not be given, because we want a cleanup, whether it is India, Sri Lanka or Pakistan, wherever. So friends, I hope you liked my review of this third T20 match. I did not talk about England much because they have a very good fixed format of playing. See ball, hit ball, and Morgan is in the pink of form. I wanted to talk about the touring party. So Pakistan was a touring party in this case. So they played well throughout, but they could not capitalize on major moments, and that is why they are coming up with only 1 win. They could have easily won the first test, and England needs to have a relook at its test team. It is not good. Pakistan gave many opportunities, but teams like Australia and India will not give you. So I'm sure England is looking into it. In T20, they played a second string side, but it is good experience for players like Lewis Gregory and others. And Tom Banton is someone to look out for. 21 years old, but very good batsman. So that is my review for today. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, please don't forget to share and subscribe. Have a nice day.